we chose to do, we're Group A, and we chose to do our 50-minute lesson on the introduction of budgeting. Before we even get started with the presentation, just let me say I have thoroughly enjoyed this workshop. Being able to stay within the parameters of one central idea without trying to cram so much in such little time was more than valuable to me. I am just pleased to be able to take a lesson plan that has little technology and a lesson plan that has a lot of technology and contrast the two and see actual results or the difference in the results. And you know, when we were doing it, we became the students and we walked through every activity, and as adults we thoroughly enjoyed the lesson that had the more multimedia in there, because it was like doing it. It was like being there. It was actually like performing the actions yourself and not having to figure out and make connections, because so many pieces are always sometimes missing when you don't have an authentic element mixed in with the lesson plan. But anyway, enough of our soapbox, and we're going to get started with our presentation. The first thing, the first assignment that we did with the lesson plans, it was the rough draft. The rough draft was one that was not supposed to include a lot of technology, which was real easy to do, because most of the time that's what we're so used to doing. It takes so much time to find appropriate technologies to actually illuminate a lesson, to cause active learning, where the students are busy learning and assessing what they learn at the same time. That's hard to do. And this was more of a run-of-the-mill lesson plan. It didn't have a lot of technology. The students were busy. They had hands-on work. They had a handout where they had to finish some things. So they were busy. They were working, but you'll see later on that it didn't connect a lot of real stuff in the lesson. This lesson plan is the final draft, and this is basically what our presentation is built on. And you'll notice it's much more full. The writing is much more full. The teacher reflection was even different. The other reflection was that the teacher needed to include technology. This reflection is that the teacher included technology, but hey, she felt like she crammed so much in because you know she was excited about what the students were learning and how they were learning it. And how they were learning it. If you'll notice, even the multimedia tools that were used, PowerPoint, data projector, computers, this list is even longer. We have websites this time under the materials needed. Before, we didn't have any websites. When defining the target knowledge and the objectives, the target knowledge and the objectives did not change from lesson to lesson. Basically, what changed is the road, how to get there. The target knowledge, the students will be able to demonstrate basic knowledge in defining and understanding the purpose and importance of budgeting. That did not change. The objectives that we chose to help them reach their target knowledge were defining budgeting, define the purpose of budgeting, and understand the importance of budgeting. These two things remain the same for both the draft and the final draft. This particular video we retrieved from YouTube. This is the video clip that was used to introduce the lesson on budgeting to the students that we chose, but we could not reformat this video due to copyright laws that's associated with it, so we have included it as a separate video clip, and we'll show that at this time. Now this is where the fun came in during the activity part. The draft lesson focused on a handout that allowed the students to record what they bought, how much each item was, and what they had left over, and talked about why they chose to buy what they bought. And also the teacher threw in some life events that caused them not to have money to take care of those events. this, which was good now, which was good because it made for good discussion and it made for good thinking. They had something to reflect on. However, this lesson that was so infused with technology, the teacher set up her room like a classroom store. She gave each student $10. And they chose from things to eat or either classroom supplies like notepads, pencils, as you can see, candies, cookies. They could buy whatever they wanted to buy within the limits of what they had. When they were finished purchasing their goods, the teacher asked them to take a note card out and kind of sketch, what they bought and how much it cost and put what their income was, and then calculate the difference. So they kind of sketched it out. Now, from that note card, they were instructed to visit a website, the Budget Calculator, and input some data into this online budget calculator. Now, their monthly gross earnings was the $10. What they didn't consider was that when you have earnings, you have to pay taxes. See, so many things were not considered, and then they had to put in their grocery and then the miscellaneous expense because those were the instructions that they were given. And this was an awareness to them that money is not to be spent just because you have it, and just because you don't have a vivid picture of what your responsibility is does not mean that responsibility doesn't exist. So that is the purpose and the importance of having a budget, because it creates a vivid and clear picture of what your responsibility is. It's a roadmap to help you get to where you want to, and it also encourages financial stability. So so much was gleaned for them from this lesson, and it was much more technology infused, but even more so than that, the kids could see, hey, I'm in trouble. They could see they were in trouble before, but not how much in trouble they really were. And the importance of having something visual, something tangible, something organized that does promote financial stability is highly, highly important. And that's what made this lesson so much more better than the other one with this aid of technology. And then after watching the introductory video clip where the students got a chance to see other students discuss what budgeting was, what the purpose of a budget is, and how important it is and necessary even for teenagers to have a roadmap for their spending, especially when they have a job and when they have an allowance. And I really, really enjoyed the video clip because it really drove the message home about the importance of saving. And without a savings plan, you don't have a budget. So, it was very instrumental for these kids to be able to see other students, embrace the importance of spending your money very wisely even while you're young. Toward the end of the class period, I chose a reflective assignment as a personal assessment for the students. I wanted to know just what they gathered from the activity. What did you learn? In your own words, connect what you saw in the video clip and connect the activities that you did in a classroom, and you explain to me what a budget is, what budgeting is, why it is important to have a budget, and what the purpose of a budget is. I used Blackboard, the discussion area where they had to log into their discussion, into their classroom, and they accessed the discussion forum by clicking on the discussion button. And their prompt reads like this. In the video clip, the teenagers talked about what an actual budget means, its purpose, and its importance. Now, in your own words, explain what a budget is, its purpose, and why it is so important. Please connect your responses to your experience in class today. Remember to use standard edited English. Please submit when finished, and you are not required to respond to any of your peers for this post. This is their assessment. They will be graded on this assessment. Construction of writing is always considered when we do a discussion prompt, but really for them to be able to think about and put into writing what they learn validates their learning, and it also helps them retain and synthesize things for future assignments in this particular unit. And we want to say thank you for listening to our presentation, and girls and guys, It was good. We really, and this is one workshop we thoroughly enjoyed. Thank you.